Today I'm reviewing this Fingerprint Smart Lock. Now, this one is made by Ruikang and was sent to me by the brand to make a video on. Let me go ahead and open this up and show you exactly what you're going to get inside. And then I'm also going to install it and show you exactly how it works. So inside of the box, this is what it's going to look like when you first open it up. It's going to have the user manual, which will definitely be important, I'm sure. And then it's going to have the key. So it is going to be a keyed lock as well as being a smart lock as well. And it's going to have different parts of it inside. So it looks like the part that goes through the lock itself. That's going to be what the keypad is going to look like, I assume. Let me pull this out. This is probably going to be the part that goes on the back side, if I had to guess. Yep. So that's the part that's going to go on the inside of the door. And then has these little keychains. I have no idea what those are for. I have to read the instructions on those. And then looks like this is going to be the things for install of it. So yeah, clear here. So it's going to be the deadbolt itself and some of these screws and that sort of a thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read through the different instructions, see exactly what I need to do to get it installed, and then go ahead and try it out. Now this is going to take 4 AA batteries. This is going to be the battery pack that's on the inside of this. So that is important to note that it will take batteries. Those are not included. Now the installation instructions on this are pretty jinky. It does say to remove the mounting plate, but then does not give you any idea how to remove it. So I tried sliding it. I tried pulling it out. Apparently there's 2 screws. So there's a screw here, which I already have taken out here. You can see it sitting right there. And then there's also a screw on the bottom that you have to take off to get to the mounting plate off. So it would be really nice if the instructions actually included that, but they don't, so that's how you're going to do it. Another thing I wanted to point out is this one is actually going to have square corners on this plate for the deadbolt itself versus the one I'm taking out is rounding corners. And of course, the door that I have does not have a spot that fits these square corners, only fits the rounded corners. So we'll want to take a look at what you currently have to make sure that you have one that has enough room for the square corners. Otherwise, you are going to have to chisel out your corners to make sure that it fits. One other thing is that this deadbolt thing is actually going to move a bit. So you can see here it's not exactly straight, so you will have to kind of maneuver this back part to get that deadbolt actually straight in there before you get it installed. You're going to want to run the wire through the bottom here, run this part here through the middle. Then these are going to be your mounting screws that are going to go through on the back of your mounting bracket. Just make sure this part is kicked out towards the bottom. So I'm going to tighten up these screws, make it all a tight fit, and then put that on. What you're going to do is you're going to take that wire, plug it in there, then you're going to put this into that back part there. There's going to be one issue with the mounting plate, and that you have a screw on the bottom here, right? Well, taking it out is no big deal. The problem is putting it back on. You're still going to have a bottom doorknob, as this is just for the deadbolt on your door. So you have to remove your doorknob here before you can put this little tiny screw in on the bottom on this to hold this onto the mounting bracket. That's just really poor design that they didn't put it on the side or didn't put it here or there or in a variety of other places where you could actually access it. Instead, they put it directly on top where your bottom door handle is going to be. So assuming you have a double door handle, which this is just the deadbolt, not the handle itself, then you're going to have to remove your handle to be able to put this little tiny screw in there, or if you have like a little miniature stubby screwdriver. So overall, that's really just a poor design choice. Now this smart door lock does come with like an emergency override almost, so it does have actual keys that you can use for this, if your batteries are dead or whatever. However, to get to that is kind of a pain in the neck. So you actually almost need to like half pry this thing out to get it to move. First time I did this, I had to use a screwdriver and like bang on it. So I would recommend that you get that kind of loose beforehand. Once it's loose, it moves pretty easily, so you just have to like kind of push and pry and it just kind of pops out of there. But it's set in there pretty solidly the first time just from the manufacturer. So you will want to make sure you get it loose and you can just like pop out on it with your fingernail to get it to slide to be able to see the key. Now, as with seemingly everything else on this, it is pretty confusing to get set up. So when you first set it up, you're going to have a password, which is going to be 123456. It's just like the admin password. So you're going to want to change that to set it for your front door. So to do that, you're actually going to push the button up here to wake it up, and then you're going to push 1 and then the unlock button. It'll say input administration information, then you're going to put that password in. So that is going to be the default password, 123456, and then push unlock. Now you have to do that before it goes dark like it just did there. So let me go ahead and do that.
Restore factory settings.
Now it'll say that as well, so you're going to want to push 1.
Add administrator setting. 2. Delete administrator.
And then push 1 again.
Administration information.
Now what you're going to do is you're going to set your new password. I'm not sure why it says administration information and all that stuff, but you're just going to put in your new password. So I waited again too long. You're going to want to do that immediately. Once you do that, then you're going to push the unlock button. That's like the next button. You're going to enter that passcode again, then you're going to push next. So let me go ahead and go through that process here with you. So what you're gonna do, this is like when it's brand new. So you're gonna push the button up here. You're gonna push the number 1 and the unlock button.
Input administration information.
It'll give you that. So you're gonna put in the default password. So that's just gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then hit unlock.
Administrator setting.
Now it's gonna give you these random settings. You can adjust them if you wanna have different users, that sort of thing. Just to have a default password, you're just gonna push 1.
Add administrator setting.
Now I'm gonna add administrator settings, not change them.
Input administrator.
And now it's going to let me choose the password. So let's say, for example, it has to be between 6 and 12 digits. So for this example, I'm just going to push all ones.
Please enter it again.
And now it's going to ask me to do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unlock.
Operation succeed 0, 0. Free input administration information.
And so now it is done. So now it is that is the active password. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lock this door and show you exactly how that works. So I got the door shut. To lock it, I'm just going to push this to wake it up and then push the lock button.
Door is locked.
And I'll tell you when the door is locked, so that is nice. Now let me go ahead and just kind of show you here that it is actually locked. Now to unlock it, I'm going to push this to wake it up. Then I'm going to put in that default password, that one that I just added. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Failed.
And I hit 0 instead of the unlock.
Information.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry.
Door open.
And then it unlocks the door. So it's relatively easy once you get that figured out. Setup and the instructions are truthfully pretty confusing on this. And then also the fact that you also have to buy a separate one for your regular door handle. Now this one we had a key on, this one we had a matching key on. So now we have two different keys. We have to change out this door handle. So this is a downside. If I had to choose, I would actually choose if I chose a different one, I'd probably make sure that I got a smart lock that actually has both a lock here and then also a handle down here that comes with it in like one unit. Really annoying to have to change this out. Obviously I don't want to leave this a key because that kind of defeats the point of having the smart lock as well. Now, this one does have like a fingerprint smart lock that you can set, but the basic just pushing the passcode in, that sort of thing also does work. So overall has quite a few little quirks and kinks and that sort of thing that aren't exactly really intuitive, like setting up the password. Why does it say user information and admin information, all of that? Says you can have up to 99 users. Like who's going to use that in their home? So that's kind of confusing, kind of a little bit overboard in my opinion. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Also, as I mentioned, those screws, they just didn't think about the placement of them. It would be far better to place them in a different location because obviously you're going to have a door handle down below, and they didn't even consider that when designing this keypad, obviously. So overall, if I had to give this a rating, like maybe out of 10, I'd probably say this is like a 7. Truthfully, like it has a few things that are kind of annoying. It will be kind of cool to get a fingerprint set up on this, so that is really cool. It has that biometric available, and then you can also have the keypad. It does have this, but again, this is like you almost have to pull it out to be able to get it out and rotate it, especially the first time. Once you get it out, it's not that hard, but it is annoying to do that. You can actually see I ended up scratching up and scuffing up this a good amount while trying to get it out that first time, as it really didn't just come out like it should have. They need like a little lip or something on this to be able to make it out. So you can see here, it's kind of difficult to get it to come all of the way out. So overall, I'd probably say it's like a 7 out of 10, maybe even a 6 out of 10, truthfully. Just the way this lock works, some of those functionalities, it just aren't the best.